Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is On the Hunt, the official wrestling podcast with your host, Mike Hunt. Today we have a special treat for you. Wrestling superstar and international icon, Daniel Roberts.
Hello everyone, it's me, Daniel Roberts, and I'm glad to be here on the podcast with Mike Hunt. And Mike, thanks for having me on your show today.
Now, Daniel, why don't you come in and introduce yourself to our audience? I know many of them are familiar with your work, but why don't you tell us a little bit about your personal life?
So, my personal life, well, let's see where it began. It was when I was 13 years of age, trained to become a professional wrestler with my family, the Roberts family, and yeah, it was incredible growing up. I always loved watching WWE. It was such an amazing time in my life. I've seen the likes of mainly the Ruthless Aggression area, maybe like John Cena, Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, some of my favourites back then. And yeah, that's when I started getting into wrestling. I was like, you know what, I'm going to become a wrestler. And I got my family who were wrestlers to show me the ropes, I guess. And it was fantastic, obviously, being a wrestler. And obviously I debuted age 16 for BCW, as you all know. Did very well for them. I didn't win any titles there though, but I did certainly make an impression if I was signed by WWE. So yeah, my personal life, you know, I did have my father pass away from a young age, at the age of 14, and it was probably one of the hardest points of my life. It was a tragic moment in my life, and I just couldn't deal with the fact that he was gone. But I always have a voicemail message from when he was last with me, and I always listen to that every match before, you know, I wrestle, to know that my father is always with me and he will always be proud of me, whether my dream was good or bad.
Wow, that is absolutely fascinating. Now, you spoke about your time in the Indies being your most cherished memories. But what's it like being a superstar now, and your time compared to like somewhere like BCW, where you started off with people like Cole Quinn?
Yes, certainly it is a huge change from going from such a, you know, wrestling in high school gyms and parking lots to wrestling for the biggest company in the world. It was amazing, especially, you know, going from people like Cole Quinn and Mark Young to WWE, the likes of John Cena at SummerSlam and The Miz at Survivor Series. It's all just, I don't know, Hell in a Cell, sorry, not SummerSlam, not Survivor Series. But yeah, it was certainly, you know, a big time in my life for that. And obviously I enjoyed every moment of being in Indies, but as soon as I got that WWE contract after invading NXT, it was incredible. I love every single moment of it.
Wow, that is just an amazing story. You know, your passion for the wrestling industry. I can see that now. But here at On the Hunt, I have tons and tons of questions pouring in from callers, from viewers. They want to know, what's your most fond memory of WWE? They want to know things like, what's backstage like? What's Vince like? What's it like competing at the echelon of the business?
My fondest memory, now that's a tough one, because there were so many good memories when I was part of the WWE. It was fantastic. I don't know. I'd probably say my first Universal title win, when I won the Elimination Chamber to become the new Universal Champion headed into, obviously, Fastlane and WrestleMania. It was probably the happiest moment of my life when that happened. And backstage, it's okay. I love the locker room. The locker room is just such a great atmosphere. But as of late, it hasn't been that great. It's been quite miserable, especially Vince being very manipulative. And my relationship with Vince, I'd say it was okay. It wasn't great. He clearly didn't like me. Like, he didn't like me being the guy. He didn't want to make me the face of the company, and I can get that. Triple H tried his hardest to, you know, try and keep me on, but I was like, no, I had to go. I don't like working here. I hate being here. I was miserable backstage. I just lost all passion. Vince came up to me a bunch of times on SmackDown and Raw, saying, I don't think you're fit to be a part of the main roster. I don't believe you to be championship material, and personally, he sees me, and this is what really hurt. This is the insult he said. He said, I don't think you're worthy of being a champion. He said I'm nothing more than a jobber that got lucky, which really hurt. And I thought me and Vince had a good relationship, but apparently we didn't. And yeah, it was one of my main reasons of leaving the WWE.
Wow. that is a bombshell. I know I asked about Vince, but a lot of people need to know, Daniel. Is he really like that? Is he really man-childish to think toilet humor works in 2019? I've heard horror stories of pooper scooper promos. I've heard horror stories of terrible last-minute script changes. I've heard scripted promos. Tell me that's not true. Tell the audience that's not true.
It's all true, Mike. To be honest, pooper scooper toilet humor. That's something Vince enjoys. I don't particularly enjoy it. Some of the stuff that he went down for me in promos felt a bit bland. Like, I had so many ideas in promos, and he said I had creative freedom, and then almost as soon as I signed for WWE, like, he just said, "Oh no, we're not going to have you give you freedom or promos. We're going to be writing scripts for you, so you don't have to," which annoyed me because I work so hard on these scripts by myself with the writers. And yes, he does do last minute script changes. My feud with Drew McIntyre was changed a lot. I was meant to be retaining that belt, and then obviously with Triple H to win the belt at SummerSlam for one big hurrah for him, to put the Universal title on his achievements. But Vince obviously chose his protege instead of Triple H, sorry. And yeah, it was just, I was annoyed, to be honest, like, because I worked so hard to win back that Universal title at WrestleMania, and I was doing so well, and then Vince was just like I was going to win at Money in the Bank. Literally, before I was meant to go out to the show, I was told you're going to be retaining the belt and beating Drew McIntyre, which I was so excited for. And then last minute, Vince changed the script like that and just went, "Oh no, you're going to be losing the belt." And obviously I felt gutted because I could have put an amazing match, and my heart, to be honest, wasn't in the right place. I was gutted, I was upset. Not as I was upset to lose to McIntyre, but the fact is, it was a last minute change, and I worked so hard on like planning this match out, and obviously if it's the last minute, you could tell the match felt a bit off. But yeah, honestly, Vince is like that. He's very controlling. He has a lot of power in the WWE. He thinks he knows what's best for business. Now, Vince, if you're watching this, you're very deluded. You've lost your mindset. But that's why the locker room hates you, because you don't listen to what we say. And I was always the one getting the blunt of it. I always came to you with WWE professional wrestlers' problems. I'm not going to say who they are, because I want to get them in trouble. But they mainly come to me because they want me to have the balls to say to Vince. Because I always come to you, Vince, about other people's problems. And the fact that you treated me so poorly, when Triple H gave me the belief that I could be a world champion, a future legend in the WWE, and the fact that you were just going to let me go like that and not bother to give me a new contract after SummerSlam was very disrespectful. You gave me a 1-year contract, and then that was it. And I felt annoyed in a way. I felt upset. But yeah, I'm glad I'm out of there, because the atmosphere in the locker room and just backstage alone, it was very, very, very miserable.
Well, knowing what we know now, Daniel, that begs the question, why did you leave? Why did you leave at the height of your career? So young, but at the height, at the echelon. We need to know why you were no longer on the hunt. It doesn't make any sense. You have to go through it line by line. Tell us in detail what happened to push you to leave.
What really pushed me to leave was basically the booking. Now, I'm not gonna say like my booking was all terrible. There was just some stuff that didn't need to be done, like me bringing back the hardcore title. Like, I didn't want to bring that back, but Finn's like, you're gonna bring it back. I was like, I want to suggest to bring my own title, make my own title, but Vince didn't want that. We had a really cool belt designed for my match with The Miz for obviously my belt, and it was just, he didn't care. He genuinely didn't give a shit, and that's what it's important with me the most. And then obviously he made me lose the Intercontinental title after I got gassed up and attacked by Bray Wyatt and took him to the right compound, as you all saw. And then Vince was like, oh yeah, you're dropping the belt. Like, that wasn't, Triple H was being told by Vince to say that. And from that point on, I was just like, what's the point of being here? Right? I've been here for a couple of months, so it's not like I know it's only quite young. You know, I'm 18, and it's, well, not 18, I'm 17 currently, coming up to 18 in November, which I'm very excited for. And I just, people, former WWE employees have told me how bad it is to work with Vince, and how hard it is to work with him. Triple H is an awesome guy. I love the guy. He's like a father figure backstage. Everyone loves him, but Vince is like, he's more the annoying, crazy uncle, right, who doesn't know what he's doing, right? And he's getting on a bit. He's quite old now, and I think, personally, Vince, I think he needs to step down. I think he needs to go to H, because he knows what he's doing, but you just shut H down all the time. Like, he trusts us, the younger guys, and you probably lost one of your biggest stars. And I'm telling you, Vince, I'm going to make you regret this. I'm going to make you regret losing me, because I am going to become a big star out there in the indies, out there in the real world, out there with real wrestlers, with real fighting ability. Not some of this scripted bullshit you've been writing for the past, what, God knows how many years, like 10 plus years. And Vince, until you leave the head of creative, until you leave the WWE eventually, your product's going to keep failing. Even if, no matter how much you want to, go to Saudi Arabia and make loads of money, you're going to fail, because you don't believe in building better stars, building the future stars of tomorrow. And you probably just lost one of your biggest stars. And I'm telling you now, Vince, you're going to be wanting me back. You're going to be wanting me back after, I've done my business here in the indies. So, Hunt, to your question, I'm happy. I'm happy I've left, and you know what? Maybe if I can get my creative freedom I've always wanted, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the indies can go well for me. I mean, I have so many plans, but I have other plans in general what I want to do outside of on the indies, and yeah, I'm excited to start fresh again, back on the indies after a year in the WWE, and I'm going to show Big Man why I'm not another James Ellsworth, and why I really am a true star.
Wow, that is just, that's a sucker punch to the gut to hear something like that. That your passion for the business could be endangered like that. It's just, that is a bombshell to drop on the Hunt here. And I can't say that I wouldn't do the same in your position. But that said, now that you're out the door, what's in the future for the chosen one, Daniel Roberts?
Well, you know, there's a lot of plans for me in the future. You know, I could pop up here and there. I haven't really thought about my future yet. I have a few ideas what I want to do, but right now I'm still at a loss of what to do now after being just released and after I quit, really just like that. And obviously the Western world is shocked that one of the biggest prospects in the WWE has just gone just like that. But you know, I have a few ideas. I'm not gonna give you some spoilers here, but make sure you watch out for the next couple of months, because I'm certainly gonna be making some huge waves here in the Western, and I can't say what else. I just can't say it. I can't say it. I just can't. It's a secret. But make sure you watch out for me, because there's a lot of big things coming my future right now.
Something I've been dying to know, Daniel. You came up with him in BCW. You came up all the way to the top with a Mr. Cole Quinn. I have to know two things. One, does the carpet match the drapes? And two, is he really that big of a douchebag? Because he's requested to be on our show, and the horror stories would make James Ellsworth blush.
You know, Cole can sometimes be a douchebag, I'm not gonna lie. He can be, but he's a genuinely nice guy. But what he did at fucking SummerSlam really fucking wilded me off and costing me my spot and my contract and my termination from the WWE. It hurt. It really did. I thought this was my best friend of the past couple of years, and the fact he did that, yeah. But he can be a bit of a dickhead sometimes. I'm not going to deny the fact he is a bit of a dickhead. But overall, generally, he's alright. But, you know, his ego does get in the way of his talent in the wrestling business.
You spoke of your memories, your best memories working with the WWE. I've got to ask, who was the one person that you enjoyed wrestling the most? Who was your wrestling soulmate?
Who was my wrestling soulmate? Who did I enjoy wrestling against? Well, there's a lot of people to start with. Drew McIntyre, lovely guy, so nice backstage. Probably one of the nicest guys backstage I've ever talked to. Baron Corbin is nice. Braun Strowman, very lovely bloke. Roman, Seth, they're excellent. There's a lot of nice people, but if I had to pick out the people who I worked with, you know, I would. I know it sounds like a weird question, but I would have to be The Miz. Such a funny guy, honestly. The Miz is such a nice, genuine, nice guy backstage, and no one understands that. He's so nice. Like, Mike, if you're watching this, you're class, mate. You're actually class, and you know, I admire the guy. He's got an amazing work ethic. You know, he's willing to put in the time and the hours of just making his character better, and that's what I love about Mike. He's willing to get the job done at any expense, and that's why I love the guy. He deserves a WWE title shot in the future, and the fact that he hasn't got one in God knows how long, since WrestleMania 28, so what was that, nearly coming up to like 7-8 years now. It's ridiculous. Like, he deserves another title shot, and honestly, I have mad respect for the guy. He's just incredible. I'm not gonna lie, he's such a nice guy backstage, amazing wrestler in the ring, and he came a long way from being a reality TV show guy to being probably one of the best WWE performers in the company today. So, Miz, Mike, I hope you have a good time in your future at WWE.
Now, Daniel, I know the topic of Cole Quinn is very sensitive to you, but here at On the Hunt, we pride ourselves on journalistic integrity. We have to know what happened to make Cole Quinn turn his back on you at SummerSlam and side with Triple H.
I don't know why Cole Quinn did it. I generally don't know why he did it at SummerSlam. Him walking down to the ring, I thought he came in to support me and congratulate me and make sure Stephanie doesn't get involved. And it's the fact that he stabbed me in the back, and I'm sorry, he was like a brother to me. He really was. Sorry about this. Sorry if I'm quiet. Yeah, he was really like a brother to me, and yeah. It's the fact that he stabbed me in the back. Just like that. I'm so sorry. It's the fact that he stabbed me in the back and just didn't care. That's the one thing that hurts. I would have fine if he had a reason for it, but he didn't. I don't know. I mean, I gotta find out. I gotta tune in. I tuned in for, and he said it was because he felt threatened by me. He was saying I was getting all the attention, and all he was being known as Dane was his friend. And do I think that's true? Maybe it's true. Maybe I was getting so much success, and maybe he did get annoyed by it. And I get that, he would be frustrated by that. And yes, I was getting a lot of success, and it's the fact that he did that. He came down to the ring, DDT'd me into the mat, walked away, not in a second guess at what he was doing. Bam Bay was shocked. I feel sorry for Baron. He's like my father figure, and in fact, he's seen like one of his sons stab and his other son in the back. It was more heartbreaking on him than it was on me. So, Cole, if you're watching this, I fucking hate you, you little cunt. Okay, Cole, you can do all you want. Go ahead, go and have the W title shot. The Universal title shot, sorry, you've been promised by Triple H. Because you've been promised the world, haven't you? You've been promised the world because Triple H made you a good deal. But trust me, your 5 minutes of fame won't last long in the WWE. Because eventually, you'll just end up like everyone else. You'll end up in a mid-carder to jobber section, doing nothing until you're eventually going to get released and do pretty much fuck all with your career like you've been doing back in the Indies. Because the fact is, you were nothing. You were nothing on the Indies without me. I was the man that established your career. So just remember that when you're winning all these titles, if you ever win any of these titles in WWE, I'm the one that made your career. I'm the man that put you on the fucking map. And I was the man that brought the best out of you. So good luck, Cole. You're going to need it, because if you want to make it to the top level, you'll have to wise. And I don't think you're wise from the potential you have.
That's truly heartbreaking, Daniel. To have your best friend turn on you and decide with your boss. The audience, though, they feel your pain. They also need to know your feud with Drew McIntyre, Chosen One versus Chosen One. Who was the Chosen One? The audience needs to know. I need to know. You owe us that much.
My feud with Drew McIntyre, what? It was such an amazing feud. I loved working with Drew. He was just fantastic in this feud, and he knew how much it meant for the fans to see this feud. Like, the fans have been waiting to see this, and if you were talking off wins, you would say Drew McIntyre won the feud. But if you talk about who was truly the best worker in the feud, You're spoiling me. So you can really decide how you want to think about it. I would probably say me as a worker, working the feud. I would personally say I'm the chosen one, and I've always been the chosen one. But if you want to look at Drew McIntyre, then you could say, yeah, he was the chosen one. But it's really down to a matter of opinion. But personally, for me, I felt like I was clearly the chosen one. Let's be honest about that. Mike?
And Daniel, recently, one of the most iconic moments in wrestling history happened when CM Punk returned. What was it like being there that night, watching history happen, and then to get to wrestle CM Punk?
Honestly, it was very, very exciting to be wrestling the best in the world, in my opinion, CM Punk. It was incredible. I remember that day so fondly. Everyone was talking backstage that he was signed, but apparently he wasn't going to turn up until apparently it was meant to be Backlash. And then I was surprised. I literally was being told by Vince, just go out there and say these lines. And obviously me, still being miserable at that point. I was like, yeah, fine, alright, whatever. And I obviously wasn't expecting that. So fair play, Vince. You at least did one thing good. But yeah, it was shocking at the least. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it was amazing. And on that day when I heard his music, I was like, in my head, I was fanboy, and I was like, oh my god, it's CM Punk. Like every other fan in the arena that night. Oh, it was just fantastic. And honestly, Wrestling Punk on his debut return, beating me as well. I was giddy. I was fanboy because it's a wrestler I looked up to. And honestly, working with probably one of my favourite wrestlers in the world, it really is an honour to work with him. So Punk, if you're watching this, then thanks for giving me the option to wrestle you.
And last but not least, we have a lot of AJ Styles fans in our audience. And this lovely lady wants to know, what was AJ Styles actually like? Go ahead and tell her, Daniel.
AJ is probably one of the most loveliest men you would ever want to meet. He is such a family man. I'm going to say that. He is such a family man. He cares so much about the fans. He knows how much it means to them to see one of his matches. And I remember I was getting off my tour bus, getting to the arena, and I saw him. He spent nearly half an hour to 45 minutes, just signing autographs and getting pictures with the fans. He was there until about, I think it was like 20 minutes before the show started, and he was still there signing autographs. So I have mad respect for AJ for doing that. And AJ, honestly, you are phenomenal. Let's be honest, you are phenomenal. And AJ, good luck as well with your future in WWE, and I hope you can win more Universal titles in the future against another opponent.
Speaking of people that turned on you, how's your relationship with Baron Blade? I know it's been a while since you two have seen one another, but it really had to have stung that he did what he did.
Yeah, at the time, when I found out he was the man that cost me my shot at WWE, it really stung. Like, it really hurt. Honestly, I hated him till then. I still got like loads of voicemails from him, saying he's sorry, he still supported me. And honestly, I just took them for granted. I was like, I don't give a shit, mate. I actually don't give a fuck about what you're saying. And then when Finn and AJ brought out, when they brought out Baron Blade and said he was truly sorry for what he did, and he shot down BTW, I heard, and he was just living door to door from previous wrestlers from the past, and the fact that he's really sorry, and he came on to the Thunder Nation and apologised to me, that took a lot of guts. I knew, like, at that point on, like, he was really sorry for what he did, like, he was guilty of what he did. And Baron Blade is now like my father figure. Like he's upset for me being gone, but he said he'll still support me even if he can't be there, and I love the man. So Baron, thanks for looking out for me, and you're literally, I'm gonna say this now in front of everybody, in front of the watching world, you're like my second father figure.
Daniel, I know you've talked a little bit about your past. There's a young lady here in the audience that asked me to ask if you had a girlfriend. Because I think our little fan here has a crush on the chosen one.
Yeah, I'm single. So all the ladies out there, I'm single. So make sure to hit me up. No, please don't blow up my phone. Like, I love all my fans, but I can't deal with all the spam calls like I got from where my number was leaked. Like, I got so many phone calls, so many voicemails from fans saying, "I love you, Daniel Roberts. I want to marry you." Some girl said, I want us to get like married to go on a beach in like California somewhere, and I was like, okay. Yeah, but honestly, I'm up for a relationship whenever. So, if I can find the perfect girl, then I'll be willing to date her. But you never know. It's only a matter of time until I start dating. But yeah, I'm all up for it really, and let's just see where it goes, and hopefully I can find the girl of my dreams one day.
Now, you mentioned MMA. What made you think about getting into MMA? Into the UFC lifestyle? Was it about challenging yourself? Was it about proving yourself? Here at the On the Hunt show, we need to know.
Yeah, there's been a few leagues apparently. I've been interested in MMA. And yes, I did, like I mentioned a few times in the WWE and BW, I am interested in MMA, especially the UFC. It'd be nice if I get the phone call, if I get like an opportunity to do MMA. I've been doing some MMA off camera, doing some training for that. I don't know if everybody were interested in MMA, to be honest. It's still something I've been thinking about a lot. And if I had the opportunity, would I do MMA? Yeah, probably. But yeah, it's only the right time. I haven't really thought about it yet. I'm still trying to get over the fact that I'm no longer a WWE performer. So fingers crossed, maybe it might happen. Who knows? But right now, I'm just thinking of here and now, and what's my plan very soon.
What was it like, Daniel? We need to know here. You get to work alongside legends and performers just like yourself. But what was it like working with general managers, legends in their own right, Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle?
Yeah, working with some of the legends backstage were incredible. Finley he's such a nice guy, such a funny guy. So I love him. But working with Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan as general managers, they had some very good advice for me, and I took that all in. I listened to their advice. Every word they said is probably true, because Daniel Bryan was amazing GM. He's now back in the ring because he's been cleared by the doctors. So well done, Dan. I appreciate you stepping back into the ring. But Dan, I'm glad that you're back in the ring. I'm sad we didn't get to wrestle, but yeah, obviously stuff like that happens. And also I didn't get to wrestle Kurt Angle. Like, he was one of my few matches I really want to wrestle, but obviously I never got the chance to. But yeah, honestly, those two as general managers had so much good advice for me. Especially Daniel Bryan taking me under his wing and showing me that it's not all about opportunity. And he gave me a lot of opportunities, like the match in the Dome in Japan. He gave me an opportunity. After I had an impressive match with Shinsuke and Cole quitting in Japan. So yeah, he gave me a lot of opportunities. He gave me an opportunity in the Battle Royal, which I appreciate. And anything I said, he usually granted. So, fair play, Daniel. And Kurt Angle, you gave me some amazing opportunities as well. And I appreciate everything you two guys have done for me. And I hope you two both have successful futures.
Now, Daniel, you've told us a lot of really heartbreaking stories, but perhaps the most heartbreaking one of all was the one where you told me about the passing of your father. What was that like? What kind of effect did that have on you as a young man? And how did it affect you in your professional and personal life?
My dad, I'm sorry, I was talking about my dad. Hold on. My dad was my inspiration. He believed in my dreams. Obviously, he had 2 jobs. Being a professional wrestler and then being a bug exterminator. And the fact that he was doing 2 jobs just to look after me, was amazing, honestly. And it's just the fact that he would do double jobs just to look after his family is probably one thing I took away from him after his passing. That you should always do whatever it takes to look after family, to make sure you look after people in general. And it's obviously, I'm sad talking about my dad. I miss my dad dearly, but I'm pretty sure he'll be looking down at me now thinking, son, you have lived up to the hype. You are the chosen one. And son, I love you with all my heart, and you've done me proud, and make sure you keep on going, you keep on fighting, and show the world what the chosen one, Daniel Roberts, is capable of.
Daniel, you've got to wrestle with some of the legends in the business. But I've got to ask you, what was it like coming out there for the first time on the grandest stage of them all? Your first Raw, your debut on SmackDown, and more importantly, your debut WrestleMania moment. What was that like? We here at the On the Hunt Nation need to know.
Oh, let's talk about those 3 things then, shall we? My debut on SmackDown Live was amazing. Obviously, Triple H bought out my contract from BCW after it shut. After the whole Baron Blade situation, he sold my contract to Triple H. For some reason, he didn't buy Cole Quinn, but I guess he didn't see him as a huge threat. But now he's now a huge threat now to me. I don't know. But yeah, my SmackDown debut was nothing like I thought it would be. Entering a battle royal to be the number 1 contender for the United States title was just an excellent way to show off who I am, which is the chosen one. And I loved the debut. I got a lot of looks on my first day for thinking, oh, who's this guy? He's just some indie guy. What's he all about? What's he so good at? I think as soon as they saw that battle royal and what I'm capable of, they were just like, wow, this man's impressive. My Raw debut, coming out to interrupt The Miz on Miz TV, the 100th episode of Miz TV, is just probably one of the best moments of my career. Obviously, I got my ass kicked to me. I got my ass taken to me from Bo Dallas and Curtis, which they're probably still in catering right now. Guys, please no. Bo, Curtis, please don't hate me. It's just a joke. I wasn't being serious about it at all. But yeah, generally, it was such a great moment. And my WrestleMania moment, it was just that day. I remember it. It was just getting to the arena, seeing the stage, and meeting up with some of the wrestlers backstage, like Becky Lynch. I remember talking to Sheamus, Cesaro, Seth, Roman, just a general lot of the backstage guys, talking to them. And Triple H said he had a surprise for me. And I was like, what's the surprise? So they took me to the parking lot, and they brought back my van, the bug van, the van that got burnt by Bray Wyatt. It was such a happy moment for me. I cried. I was on my knees crying, and Baron Blade was just comforting me, like, yeah, I know, we managed to fix it all up. I was crying because I didn't want to have in the storyline. I didn't want my fan to burn, but you know, I can't be controlled creative and Vince. But Vince saying, no, that's going to happen. I didn't want it to happen, but they did it anyway, and it hurt. But, you know, bringing back that van for a WrestleMania moment was such a just emotional moment for me. Driving that van one more time, and it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Facing AJ in the main event of WrestleMania for the Universal title as well. It was just it was such a amazing feeling to be in the main event of WrestleMania. Wrestling probably the best, one of the best wrestlers in the world. Not the best wrestler in the world, but AJ Styles was certainly phenomenal. And it was probably a moment I'll never forget in my career. Being such a young age at 17, it's something I'll never ever forget.
Now, Daniel, we've talked a lot about your past, but I've got to know. The nation needs to know. I see I'm a man who plans out every detail of my life. That's why I run the #1 podcast in America. But what I need to know is, what is your plan for the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself going? Where does Daniel Roberts go?
Ooh, my plan for the next 5 years. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of things I could do for the next 5 years. My plan is hopefully to wrestle for some of the best wrestling companies on the indies. Do I see myself going back to WWE in 5 years? Never. I don't see myself going back anytime soon. So if any of the fans out there who think, oh, Daniel Roberts is going to go back to WWE, it's all work, it's all work. No, guys, this isn't a work. This isn't, storyline. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is real. I've left, and I don't feel like I'm ever going to turn anytime soon. But yeah, hopefully just to be more successful, hopefully to start a family, and hopefully, be known as probably one of the best wrestlers on the indie scene. That's my dream right now. I want to become not just the best in WWE, but the best in the world.
Now, you talked about your marquee SummerSlam feuds, teaming up with John Cena against Evolution. You talked about working with AJ Styles, but perhaps the single most devastating moment in your WWE career was when your best friend Finn Balor turned his back on you. What was that like, Daniel? How did that make you feel? And more importantly, how did you respond?
Well, Finn Balor turn on me was heartbreaking because it was a man I thought I could trust when he helped me defeat Bray Wyatt and get Cole Quinn back from his mind manipulation skills. And, it was a really good help. I love, Finn Balor. He was such a great help, such a friend, still is a friend. Kayfabe wise. Oh, looks like I'm breaking down the full Fins. Because storylines don't matter. We are still friends backstage. I'm gonna get fucking sued for this. No, but honestly, the whole, AJ Styles and Finn Balor turn on me a bit was something I did not see coming. Like, I didn't expect AJ to cash in on me. I was like, Jesus. I thought he would have cashed in on, I mean, how can we say it? Like, I thought he literally would have cashed in on the Velveteen Dream on SmackDown Live for the WWE Championship. I didn't expect him to just, come to my show and steal my Universal title, which, I can't blame him. But then also, working with John Cena at SummerSlam was another incredible moment for me. One of my favourite wrestlers growing up. I was such a fan of him. I was such a hustle to a little respect Cena Nation fan. I was like, you can see me. I was such a fan with Cena. I had it with shirts. But I realised that when the Rock called me Free Pebble, that's when I pretty much got rid of all my John Cena shirts. And yeah, honestly, the whole Evolution match was just amazing. I actually love working with Evolution, so yeah, it's been a lot of great success. And the Finn Balor thing, the whole that whole Finn Balor turn on me point was something I did not see coming. That was a last minute scoop right by Vince, and I sort of, I'm not going to deny, sort of enjoyed that part.
And perhaps one of the darkest moments of your career, Daniel. Your feud with Bray Wyatt. His mind control over one of your best friends, Cole Quinn. The fight at the Wyatt compound. It was heartbreaking to watch. How do you overcome such adversity? How do you persevere?
I got 3 words for you to describe that whole situation with Bray Wyatt, how to overcome adversity. 3 words. Never give up. I said that to Cena before SummerSlam, I never give up. It's not a catchphrase I use to sell towels. And it's true, I don't use that. That's a metaphor and a monologue I use for every match I go into. Never give up. And I still do that to this day.
You talk about having 5-star matches quite a bit, Daniel. But the thing is, the one that stood out the most to me was you versus Miz. What was that like working with a talker like the Miz? Someone who could go rib for rib with you. And how did you overcome such adversity in the face of the last man standing match with Braun Strowman, a man who is almost double your size? The nation needs to know. I need to know. But more importantly, you need to tell us.
Obviously, that 5-star feud with Miz was just amazing. Dave Meltzer rated 5 stars. So thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave, for the 5 stars. It was an amazing match. I'm not gonna lie. It was an amazing feud. And it was something that I was not going to see coming, feuding for the Intercontinental title. I never got to feud for the WWE title. That's still something I want to achieve. Do I think I'm going to do that in the near future? Probably not. But Miz was such a nice, well, not a nice man on camera, but, working with him off camera was great. His scripting, his promos, it was just, he owed me. Let's be honest, he owed me. The whole line of, wow, what do you think this is? WWE 2K19? I love that little line he did, and it was just spot on. He's such a great wrestler, and he's so underrated, and I think, hopefully, he gets a big push very soon, in my opinion.
Well, Daniel, we're going to have to wrap things up, but I wanted to thank you for coming on today.
No problem, Mike. I honestly enjoyed coming on to today's podcast.
Experiences and what the future holds for you. It was honestly an honor to have you on The Hunt, featuring myself, Mike Hunt. Until next time, Mike Hunt, signing out.